Hello, great one. You're welcome to another beautiful edition of your favorite show, Stand Out with Pat. This is the show that celebrates your uniqueness. And today on the show, it's a pleasure to have a very beautiful, wonderful woman on the show. This woman is one of Nigeria's strongest advocates when it comes to the issue of sexual abuse and domestic violence. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, I'll let you in on our guest and, of course, our topic for today. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You agree with me that in this age and time, so many things are happening as regards, domestic violence, sexual abuse, and it has gone beyond the family setting to our institutions. And of course, we have the issue of women empowerment. And I thought we'll cover this topic today on the show. And to do justice to that, I have this beautiful woman right here. Like I said earlier, she's one of Nigeria's strongest advocates when it comes to the issue of sexual abuse and domestic violence. I have with me in the studio a beautiful woman, Mrs. Mercy Makinde, the founder of Amazing Amazon Initiative. You're welcome, Mercy.
Thank you, Pat.
I love you.
I love you too.
And I love you're so fair. The first time I saw you, I'm like, okay, who is this Oyibo? Is she an outcast? And then I realized that you're actually Nigerian from Akwa Ibom. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're right.
Okay, ma'am. Take us through your journey. I know you're very passionate about women. When I see a woman who is selfless. You want to give your all. You want to go out there and really express yourself. You want to fight for the next woman. You are a definition of women supporting women. How has the journey of advocating for women's rights, children, and all been for you so far?
It's been challenging, but also very fulfilling. You know how it is in this country that a lot of things we have what we call the Nigerian factor come into play.
Right.
So I've heard people say, oh, why is she doing this? She wants to become a politician. She's probably doing it to gain votes or all kinds of things. And then, exactly. And then from there, you really don't get the kind of support that you want to, you ought to get. But over time, with consistency, people have come to see that this is me and this is what I stand for. It's not about what I stand to get, but it's just my passion. And it boils down from my past experience. I was given out in early marriage at age 18 by my dad. My dad gave me to his friend in marriage at age 18. And in that marriage, I suffered all the forms of violence and abuse you can think of. Physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional, mental, psychological, everything. I suffered it for 11 years.
11?
Yes, 11 years.
11 years.
Yeah. At that point, I told God, if you can help me get out of this place and help me get my life back, if you give me a second chance, I will live the rest of my life helping other women not to go through what I went through. And God answered that prayer. I came out. I was thriving in my career. I was a banker. I was doing well. Remarried, had 2 more children. So what excuse do I have really not to live my life fighting for other women?
So was that what led to Amazing Amazon Initiative?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Okay, so this is how I got the name. While I was in Zenith Bank, my zonal head at that time used to call me Amazing Amazon because she knew everything I was going through in that marriage I was in, yet I was doing so well. So she used to say, you're just an Amazon, you're an amazing Amazon. I mean, people don't have the kind of issues you have and their performance is quite low. But for you, with everything you're going through in life, you're doing very well. So that was the name she gave me. And at the time I wanted to start the movement. So I sat down and thought about it. What better name can I give the movement? What better name can I call the NGO than Amazing Amazon? And if you look critically at the meaning of that name, it's telling you that this person, female, is a warrior, is a fighter, is a survivor. And that's what I am. And that's what I want every woman to be. It doesn't matter what you're going through. You can fight it. You can stand up from where you are. It's okay to fall, but the problem is staying down where you fell.
Did you hear that? It is raw information for you on the show. The show is Stand Out with Pat. Is one shot. ever before. What I notice is that the world is now more agog. The world is now more upfront about issues, talking about issues that they would rather not talk about in times past. Talk about domestic violence, talk about sexual abuse. And recently there's been a lot of uproars, about, people coming out to really express themselves. What would you say is really responsible for this sudden confidence that we all have?
Is the example set by those who were bold enough, those who were courageous enough to break the silence. So for example, I came out to say I was abused for 11 years, I suffered domestic violence for 11 years, and here I am today. There's nothing to be ashamed of. And then some people listen to my story and they're like, okay, so I can actually liberate myself from this kind of violence. Beyond liberating myself, I can actually tell my story. So our stories are meant to inspire. And that's what happened with the recent case of the sexual allegation in church. So we have a popular face come out to say, I was raped by this popular man of God. And that has led to a lot of people coming up to tell their story. So my DM, if you follow me on social media, I've been posting series of cases of sexual assault, rape, from the day Busola spoke up. Till this day, I've not finished posting people's different testimonies, whether in church, whether at the house. And some of them will say, if Busola can do it, if Busola can speak up, why can't I? So when we share our stories, and that is basically crossing the line of freedom. The moment you can cross that line of freedom to share your story is a form of liberation. That's one part. The second part is that it also inspires other people to enjoy the kind of liberation you have enjoyed. And then also teach others and even set the record straight that this is wrong, we must not allow it, our children must not suffer the same thing that we have suffered. And for us, we've taken it a step beyond doing it online, doing it on social media. We have our campaign where we go to schools to teach children. It's a no to be violated. It's a no to, a capital no to be raped or to be abused either sexually or physically, because our culture, our religion has made us accept these things that they're normal. It's okay. Some men beat you. Some people tell you your husband beat you because they love you. It's correction.
No way.
Exactly.
No
so it's also an awareness. It serves as a tool of awareness and sensitization beyond inspiring other people. The third role it serves is to educate, and empower, and sensitize and create awareness.
Thank you, ma'am. Very poignant. Now, I know that because you drive this so passionately, you're going to get attacks, online trolls. Oh, what do you know and everything.
Yeah, of course.
How have you been able to manage, some of the negative reactions that you get from people who do not accept, what you're fighting for?
Yeah, I've heard people say, oh, I'm trying to break homes. I'm trying to tell women to leave violent marriage, so I'm a home breaker. I've heard all kinds, even with the current issue, because I was on the case. I led the protest. I was part of those who led the protest to Koza, Lagos. We were in front of the church chanting, he must step down. And a lot of people called us all kind of things. You're attacking the church. You're an atheist. You don't believe in God. You don't touch the man of God. I've heard all sorts that you don't believe in God. And in everything I do in life, there's one principle I work with. What is my motive? Once my motive is right and my heart is pure, what anybody says is inconsequential. So it doesn't affect me in any way. So I sat down and asked myself, why am I doing what I'm doing? Do I have any beef against the pastor of No. I don't know Busola, she's not my friend, but I'm just saying enough is enough. We don't want people to use their office of authority to oppress and rape and violate and abuse people under them. And that's the essence of everything we're doing. So whether people understand it, and the thing in life is everybody cannot like you. As long as I'm not Facebook, everybody can like me.
So and as long as you're not Instagram, everybody
cannot be liking me, yeah. Like so it's okay. It's part of, if you don't have people fighting you, then there's something wrong you're doing. And in life, if you're doing something and everybody seems to agree or like what you're doing, most likely you're on the wrong path. You must get certain opposition if you're doing the right thing. Even Jesus Christ himself was opposed. So why won't a mere human like me be opposed?
Good. How supportive is your husband, considering how you travel, how you go all about advocating and everything? What's his stance about your line of career?
I would say So yeah, Mr. Makinde is 1 million yard of husband material. Yeah, he is, because I usually tell people, especially the young ones who are single, that look, the best career decision you can make is the person you marry. Because it can make or mar your
dreams and everything.
Life. Yes. So for him, he's been very supportive. Even for the protest, the day before the protest, we got threatening phone calls. DSS is going to bomb us. They're going to burn us alive. We're going to Koza. We heard all kinds of things, and he was just like, "You don't have to go. Don't go." I'm like, "No, I can't let my people down. I have to be there." And he supported. You know, I mean, not too many men would let their wife go with all those threatening calls and all of that. You know, for everything I do, he's there for me. He's there. So I think I'm just blessed to have him. I think he's my compensation. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Makinde, if you're watching. Solutions. I'm grateful for the fact that you are really doing this and you're not afraid of whatever threat you're receiving. And this is a recurring problem. And I'm happy for such a time as this when we can all wholesomely address these issues. I actually posted, because I'm some sort of social influencer myself, I posted because a friend of mine was talking to me that this thing even happened in churches, in religious organizations. So now that we are talking, is it just going to be another trending story that would later die down? Or is it going to be an underground solution process?
Okay, so for us in Amazing Amazon, we have not been waiting for a popular pastor to rape a popular celebrity. We've always been working on this. This is what we do 24/7. So for us, the solution is there. And like I said earlier, it's not just online solutions that we are preferring. Right. So we have projects like the Touch Me Not campaign. And it's not just in Lagos, it's nationwide, different states in Nigeria.
I know about it, yes.
Yeah. So we go to school to educate children because that's where it starts. Like if some of these children some of these adults who are coming out now to say they were abused as children, if they were empowered, if they had the knowledge, if they knew how to fight back, they probably would have reduced the cases of rape maybe by 80% or 90%. So we go to schools, even nursery school, because the younger the children are, the more vulnerable they are. And we teach them your private part, nobody must touch it. We let them know that boys are not supposed to bully girls. Boys are not better than girls. We talk to parents, we talk to teachers. All these kind of topics of debates like boys are better than girls, father is better than mother. That's where it all starts. To make the male gender feel that they are superior over the female gender. And that's where all of the abuse starts. So we try to correct most of these things. We're trying to rewrite people's mental DNA. We're trying to refill their positivity tank concerning gender values. That look, even before God, as Christians, and I guess as Muslims too, that we're all created in God's image, we're the same before Him. So no gender is superior to the other, no one should be oppressed or suppressed because the other one is superior. So we're trying to catch them young, and that's what we've been doing in the last 2 years, going to schools to teach all of these values.
Thank you. Your private part, no one must touch it. Say no to sexual and domestic violence. The show continues after this break. Wow, sis, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, and I must say that I love how you've been able to express yourself, share your stories, and no matter how awkward it may sound, it's not everyone who is confident enough to say, oh, I've been raped, I've had this sexual and domestic violence when I was growing up. So it's a very bold thing, and I appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
Now, what next for Amazing Amazon initiative? I know that in, I think 2017, you had this big women event. I know Omotola Chalade was there.
That was 2016, actually.
2016.
Yeah.
So what's next? And do you have other projects coming?
Oh yeah, so after that, we've had several events. Every year we have at least 3 major events. So for example, last year, 2018, we decided to do a lot more outside Lagos. So last year was the Better Woman, Better Nigeria year.
I think you went to Kaduna.
We went to Kaduna, Kano, Sokoto, Aba, Ibadan, and of course we've had it in Lagos. We had it in 6 cities. This year we've done skills acquisition training for women. We just concluded Uyo in the last 2 weeks. We're hoping to do Owerri sometime in September. For me, I'm a bit more focused on community work. I want to do a lot more of grassroots work and going up country. So yes, we'll do the conferences in Lagos, we'll do all the periphery and all that, but I think the real work is up country. The real work is in the communities. So for example, grassroots, yeah, rural women, and women who really don't have a choice, they don't know better. For example, during the 16 days of activism, October to November last year, we were in the Ikorodu community educating women how to protect their children from child sexual abuse, how to protect themselves from domestic violence. For me, that's a vacuum that must be filled, because yes, we are in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt doing all the nice TUSH conference under the AC, but these women can't attend because they don't understand what we're saying. Yeah, so they don't understand us. So like the Better Woman, Better Naija project is the first Pidgin conference in Nigeria. Right. So we speak Pidgin, or the indigenous language of the state we're in. So when we're in Kano, we speak Hausa, you know, when we go to Ibadan, we speak Yoruba. And it's the same thing like having a TUSH conference in Lagos. The only difference is that we're not speaking English, but we're still in the fine hall, we still have the AC on, we're still eating, we have notepads and all of those kind of things. So we're trying to reach out to those that are usually not reached. The segment of people that a lot of people don't pay attention to. Yes, that's really my focus for now.
Beautiful, beautiful. And on that note, I want to say thank you for coming on the show, Stand Out with Pat. I must say that you stand out and we celebrate you.
Thank you.
And before you leave, I would like to present you with the Standout signature cup. It's all yours.
Thank you so much, Pat.
So I hope you're going to have...
I'm a tea lover, so...
Oh,
green tea, yeah.
I like to say that. And this book, ma'am, Life of a Media Girl, my first book, it's yours.
Oh, nice. Congrats.
I featured women in the media, and it's about women in spotlight.
Okay.
You know, and how the society perceives themselves.
I'll definitely give you my review.
I love that.
Thank you so much, Pat.
Wow, it's been a wonderful time on this show talking about domestic violence and sexual abuse in this age. And I hope you've learned one or two things. And if you did not learn anything at all on this show, remember that it is a no-no, and as parents, we are responsible for the lives and the destinies of our children. Please don't let them keep quiet. Don't be silent about, you know,
any form of
abuse. Make sure that you encourage your words to speak up. And on that note, I want to say a big thanks to you for being a part of the show. Stand Out with Pat. I'll see you again next week. I love you.